Okay guys, we are going to talk about those potty trays, but first we have to do our deep cleaning today. We just had a litter of puppies go home this past Saturday, and we have to take apart their nursery. We have to clean it all, we have to mop and get everything ready and just keep it all clean and sanitary. Then we're gonna play with Shellie's puppies. I've got 3 activities I wanna set up for them so they can overcome some fear. We have some unstable surfaces, some height adjustments that they're gonna work towards. They're gonna start playing with Bella, and they're gonna learn to go through a tunnel. So then we're gonna circle back and go back to those potty trays one more time, the pieces, putting it together, and how to use it. Okay, while the puppies are playing, we are gonna just get in here and deep clean their area. So a lot of people have been asking about these trays, how to get them to potty train. So I'm just gonna talk about that some while I am cleaning. So this is from them overnight. So you can tell this group has done an exceptionally well job at learning to potty train. They're only 5 weeks old and they're already gaining the concept of not to poop or pee where they're sleeping. So they're really learning those boundaries already. So when we have our puppies come out here around 5 weeks old, we actually have 4 of these trays that go in and surround them. So basically, puppies wake up, they get stimulated, they walk a little bit, they potty, and then they continue on their journey, like what they're going to eat or if they were just getting up to use the bathroom. And so you really want to just surround them with these trays right off the bat so that way they can start to learn that these are where they go. And then as they get better and better at it, then you can start moving the trays farther away from them. And then after you see that one tray isn't getting used a lot, usually it's the closest to their sleeping area, then you can remove that tray out. So these we clean probably we clean them every day, twice a day, but the grates, we clean off any extra, but we don't deep clean these because you still want them to be able to smell the leftover. So that way they just naturally come back to it. It's kind of like an adult dog. If you've ever had a puppy or an adult dog that you're house training in the house, if they have an accident and you don't clean up that accident well, they are gonna go back to that spot and do it again. So we're actually using that to our advantage for training the puppies initially. So after they get really good, then we get it down to just 2 trays in here. And then and they're in the corner, they're pushed away. So that way they have a lot of area to play in and to eat. And then it's completely separate. Okay, so we're gonna get them a new mat because they are ready for one. When we are starting their potty training, we do these every day. And then as they get better at potty training and we don't have as many accidents, then we progress to about every other day. But they can definitely get it pretty dirty in the beginning. So we've been using these mats for probably 4 years now, and they have held up really well. So not only are they waterproof, but they're really easy to wash. So if you have a puppy play area that you're setting up for your new dog, it might be something that you'd like to check out, and you can see that in our description below. They have different sizes and just all sorts of things for different circles and squares and rectangles, all different kinds of shapes. So now that these guys have had enough playtime, we're going to get them settled, get them some food. They are transitioning right now to soft kibble. So put some water in there, put some regular kibble, and then for those who have the nice teeth, they can just eat that right off the top, and then those that don't will find the soft kibble at the bottom. And then we're going to give them some new toys to play with so they can have some new experiences. And while they're resting, we're going to deep clean the area that the puppies just left from. So we're going to take it apart and really scrub it down. Okay, we just finished our last piece of our puppy playpen, and now we're going to go inside and take a look at the potty tray and put it together and show you how that all works. So our puppy training has come a long way. When we first started breeding, we were using newspaper on the ground. Then we transitioned to horse litter pellets in a tray. But those just made the puppies dusty and it just was a big mess. And so then my awesome husband created this system for us, and it has worked very, very well. So we have our tray, and then you have a potty pad, and we have really enjoyed these out pet care ones. They've been the most absorbent and the most helpful. So we change them out 2 to 3 times a day depending on how large the litter is. And they've just done really well containing odors. So put one of these on here. Make sure that it's flat. And then we have the tray topper, which is a shelving unit. And so if you go to our shop, which we'll link the description below, it comes in a shelf, and there's 4 of them. So you're just going to take those, and you're going to use this part, and then you're going to dispose of like the poles that you would connect them to actually make the shelf. So we'll put all those pieces together, and then you make a puppy potty training area. So one funny story is you want to make sure that this pad is flat, because if it's not, if it's sticking up some like through this part, or it's not perfectly flat, those puppies will grab it, they'll take it, and they'll shred it. So we have one happen every couple of litters that I don't make it perfectly smooth, and then you come in there and you got a big mess. So I hope that this helps some of you create your setup for your breeding, or if you're using it for your puppy. So we're done with our cleaning, and we have these activities set up for the puppies. So these guys are 5 weeks old, and they are Shellie's puppies. They are learning how to work on height differences. They're working on unstable surfaces, and they're working on going through the tunnel to kind of just show them that it's okay to go from dark to light and to go to somewhere that they might not be able to see the end. So we're just going to kind of go through each one and tell you about what the purpose of it is. So the first activity is a tunnel, and this is a really great opportunity for puppies to know that they can go through something that's unexpected and then get surprise cuddles at the end. So we actually have a tunnel that we can make smaller. We can make this about half the size of it, and it makes like a semicircle. And that's what we start out with these puppies. And then once they've mastered that, then we open it up to the full length and just keep encouraging them to come in and come out. And then at the end, we give them lots of praise and a lot of attention and cuddles. The next one is doing an uneven surface. So we have chosen to do a kiddie pool upside down. and they love climbing on this thing, but it is unsteady and it gives with them. So the more of them that are on there, the more it sinks down, the more they have a little bit of a challenge coming up and down. But it's good for them to know that not every surface that they walk on is going to be super steady. They might have to go up a ramp sometime to go into a car. They might have to walk on grass or a hill that's uneven, or even after it rains, things are mushy, and we want our dogs to be able to be acclimated to all sorts of surfaces. So that's why this uneven surface is a good thing to practice on. Lastly, working on height differences. This is kind of the precursor to going up and down stairs, is a shorter surface like this. So this is a coolaroo, and at first you'll see them climb up and they don't know how to get down. But with some coaxing, they will eventually jump down, and then they'll get, see, look at her. So then they'll get super easy, and they'll get very acclimated to going up and down, and then they'll feel really good about going up and down the steps. Another thing that this coolaroo does is it gives a place for them to hide. Like if they're playing with Bella or another mom dog, they can have that place to go retreat to, and that's really important for this age group. So that way they can feel comfort and they can feel safe and secure, that they can kind of run and hide and then come back out when they feel ready enough to come play. So another really good aspect of the coolaroo. We hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, especially for those who were wanting to know all about those potty tray questions. And we look forward to making our next video on our evening routine and focusing on these 2-week-old puppies with Isla, doing early neurological stimulation and answering some questions about their nursery. Have a good night.